Today we are going to look at how to solve some common problems using the online calculator available on the state test. We'll start with some easy problems and then move on to some that might be a little bit more difficult. So as you can see on the right side, our first problem is 5 minus 3. So I type in the number 5 and then the subtraction sign and then the 3. And on the right side it tells me that the answer to 5 minus 3 is 2. If I want to do 1 minus negative 1, type in 1 minus, and then I type in that minus sign again, and then I type in the 1, and it tells me that 1 take away negative 1 is equal to 2. There isn't a positive negative button like you see on some calculators. You just use that subtraction button for the negative sign and subtraction signs. If I have negative 8 times 10, I'm going to want to type the negative sign before the 8, and then multiply times negative 10. And again, over on the right side, it tells me that negative 8 times negative 10 equals a positive 80. If I had 72 divided by negative 8. Notice that when you press the divided by button, it creates a fraction because a fraction is just another way of showing division. So 72 divided by negative 8 on the right side, negative 9. I've been pressing this clear all button when I get done with the problem. The next problem, E, asks us to find the square root of 45. Here's my square root key. I'm going to want to press the square root sign first, and then the 45, I want to make sure that it is under that square root sign. And it shows me that the approximate value of the square root of 45 is 6.70820393, and it would keep going on and on. So this is your square root button. I want to take 2 to the second power. There's a couple of ways to do that. I can type 2, and then I can come to this a squared button, and it automatically squares it. 2 to the second power is 4. I want to do 7 to the third power, so I can press, that's not what I wanted to do. I can press this A to the B. That allows me to type in the 7, and then make my exponent any number. A to the second only allows you to use an exponent of 2. But if you use a to the b power, you can use whatever exponent you want. So I needed to take this to the third power. So 7 to the third power means 7 times 7 times 7, and that's 343. If I press this return bar right here, it gives me another. If I wanted to check that 7 to the third power does equal 343, I could type 7 times 7 times 7 below that, and I see that they are both the same. I can click clear and clear all. You can also use this backspace. Just a few more problems. The cube root of 38. This allows you to take the square root, which means you're finding what number times itself is equal to the number under the square root sign. In 8th grade, the only other root you will look at is the cube root. So I press this button and I have to type in what root I want. So I have to put the 3 there, just like we see in the problem. And then I need to click so that I'm typing a number underneath. 38 tells me the cube root of 38 is 3.3619, and it goes on from there. So if you want to take the square root of a number, you can just use this root sign. If you want to take a cube root of a number, you have to use this root n, and you have to actually type in the number 3. What about fractions? We have a fraction button right here. What if I want to do 1/3 times 4 plus 8? So I can type that fraction button and then do 1, and then I need to click down here to get the denominator 3, and then I need to click outside so I'm no longer typing as part of that fraction. 1/3 times 4 times 8 to the second power is 85.333333, or 85 1/3, because a repeating 3 is the same as 1/3. The next one is long. I want to take 2.1 times 10, and it's to the 5th power, so I need to use this A to the B button. And I want to add that plus 4.3 times 10, and you can't see that maybe, but it's 10 to the 4th power. And it tells me that's going to be 25,000 or 253,000. Sometimes I will put parentheses in to show that I want to do this first, and I want to do this first, and then I want to add them. Parentheses can be helpful with this calculator. The last problem is 2 3/4 plus 5/8. We don't have a mixed number button, so I can put in 2 3/4 by typing in 2 plus 3/4. If I put in my mixed number that way, I do want to make sure I use parentheses because those are going together. And I want to add to that 5/8, and it tells me it is 3.375. It will not give you the answer as a fraction. So if there had a multiple choice question and one of the answers was given as a fraction, you have to know how to convert that. So 3.37 is actually 3 and 375 thousandths. So you would just have to be able to reduce that 375 thousandths. Let's try something. Let's add a new row. If I have 375 divided by 1,000, that lets you see it that way so that you could start to think about what numbers might divide that evenly. If you have questions about this calculator, please email me and ask. I would be happy to help you in any way. And it's a good idea to use this calculator whenever you're doing your math work. Have a great day.